Guys, Make Mine Marvel here with another review. This is going to be a companion piece review of the Sideshow Gray Hulk exclusive, which you can see right here, and also the Sideshow Red Hulk exclusive. And I wanted to wait on my Red Hulk review so I could review both of these guys together on one video and give you a comparison of how kind of Sideshow evolved this piece from the first one that came out and the red one to this one here. And there's noticeable changes that they've done and some not noticeable changes that they've done. And I hope to point all those out to you guys and give you guys some in-depth stuff. All right, so we're going to start off with the Gray Hulk, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So to start off with the Gray Hulk here, this is the exclusive version. This is a premium format quarter scale statue. It's got mixed media. The shirt, which is the exclusive feature, is fabric, and the jeans are fabric as well. The rest is all sculpt. Now this shirt being the exclusive, you cannot take it off. It is not removable. So big difference between the regular and the exclusive. The regular comes without the shirt, and you got to leave it as it is. If you get the exclusive, you can't take it off and display it as a regular version if you wished. Obviously that has its pros and cons for some people. I love the exclusive on this statue. For me, this is a must. This is classic McFarlane Hulk, which I love. The perfect McFarlane head. It's right up there with top head sculpts. Eyes are perfect, teeth are perfect. And we're going to get into the paint because you can see the paint difference there on the head and the body. And we'll get into that in a second. I want to point that out. That's a negative, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I think the hair is done real well. Everything about this head sculpt and this statue, I'm really digging. I do feel, along with most other collectors that I've heard talk, that this is the best out of the three between the red, green, and gray. I think that's mainly because of the paint improvement throughout the process. All right, so going on to continue on with the sculpt portion, you see all the veins are there, everything, all the skin texture. It's all dialed in nice. The sculpt's really not that different at all compared to the other two. I think all the same veins are there, all the same, same texture to the skin. It's all there with the other ones. Now, one of the parts that they did differently, well, I shouldn't say differently, but they improved upon, and I'll show this on the Red Hulk as well, but this is kind of a sculpt thing. So the way this was casted is this leg was separate, when they first casted it. Now, you can see here that they filled in the gap where they, from the leg to the upper thigh. They have that gap there so the leg was separate so they could get the shorts on, and then they then they put the leg on after they got the shorts on. Now the Red Hulk, they did the same thing, except they left the gap there, and I'm going to show you that in the review so you guys can see what I'm saying. So there they made a good improvement. They actually filled that gap in. Underneath the jeans, once the jeans were over it, you cannot feel that gap at all. If I never showed that to you, you guys might not even ever know that was there. So good improvement there. In the Red Hulk, you can actually kind of feel the gap a little bit if you run your finger over the jeans. Again, I'm going to show you that. And now the other major difference would be the base. The base is similar sculpt, except different colors, darker colors. That this is green instead of red. The pipes are all a darker color, which I like. It gives the statue some kind of distinguishing features than the green and the red, which both have the same base along with a Hulkbuster hand. This one doesn't have the Hulkbuster hand, which I'm glad they didn't do. It makes it different. It gives it some kind of uniqueness to it. You see the texture on the bottom of his foot. All right, so now let's talk about the paint. We'll start from the bottom up. Again, we already mentioned the base, how it's painted a little bit differently. This isn't that shiny silver like on the red, which you guys will see in a little bit. I think this base is actually painted a little bit nicer. I like it a little bit better. Far as skin tones, shading, all that kind of stuff for body, on the paint on the body, I mean, perfect. They did the veins in a little different color. They've almost got a yellowish tint to them. The skin's all shaded perfectly. The jeans have a nice, shade to them. They looked a little bit dirty. They're torn up. They're painted extremely well. You don't get that in the red one because the jeans on the red one are black, so you don't really see that much detail in the red pants. There's a good example right there of the different color in the veins for the wrist and everything, right on the hand. Same thing with the forearm. Nails on the feet, huge improvement with the nails being painted. This is the same as on the hands. They nailed this, and you guys will be able to see comparison between this and the red. Hand, really, really well done. All right, where the paint is not so good, clearly right there. Obviously you can see that the paint for the body and the head or the neck is different colors. This is just shaded a lot more, and then obviously this isn't shaded to match. So I think these things were painted either at different parts of the assembly line, maybe by different people, don't know. They could have done a better job to ensure that the paint is more seamless. All of the Hulks have this different texture. This head is sculpted a lot smoother, and I think it's in a different material than the body is. So you get all the skin texture in the body, and then the face is a little bit smoother. The gap is better, though, compared to, especially the green one. The gap on the green Hulk is pretty horrendous. They've tightened up the gap on this, and the gap on the red was never that bad. The teeth, did excellent job there, did a real nice job. Looking dead on the way you're going to display it, it actually looks really well. You can't see as much of the color difference. The head is, the head, the forearm, the brow, all that kind of stuff matches up with the rest of the paint perfectly. So it's not so much of the only place the statue looks bad is right there. If you were to display him, at an angle, sideways, like that, that's going to probably be noticed and it's not going to look that great. Any other way you display them, including from the other side, it's not as bad. It's not as noticeable. So, all right, let me put this guy in his display spot, and I'll pull out the Red Hulk, pop him on here, and give you guys a once-over on that. All right, back with the Red Hulk Premium format. This is the exclusive version. That is the exclusive head. Like I said, same thing, quarter-scale statue, mixed media with the shorts being fabric, and the rest sculpt. All right, so we'll get into a little detail in this guy here. All right, start off right off with the head, the exclusive head there. They've got the little X on his right above the bridge of his nose. That's from where Thor hit him with Mjolnir. I think it was in the Avengers comics. Could have been in a Hulk issue. I don't know. I don't know my Hulk comics very well. They did a good job with the teeth, the mouth. This is actually this face, this head has a lot more skin texture than the green or the gray heads do. They're a little bit smoother. So these sculpts actually blend in better with the body. The only part that's not that great for the paint is you can see here where the hairline comes, the black of the hairline. It's a little off. It's a little below where the actual hairline is. I think a lot of people did have that issue. The gap on this one and the skin color is barely noticeable at all, because even with the regular head and the exclusive head, the hairline comes down to the neck, so that hides a lot of the gap. This is a really tight gap here. You get a little different color, and you can see a little bit of that different texture between the body and the skin, but this is probably the best body to head matchup there out of the three. And again, on that side, it's much, it's real good. And then head on, how most people are going to display it, it's not noticeable at all. It actually looks, the actual red paints themselves match perfectly. They're not different color at all. It's a little bit of shading. Got his, General Ross haircut there. All right, let me throw on the regular head. We'll do that one real quick, and then we'll continue on with the rest of this Red Hulk. All right, there we go, the regular head. This has got more of a sinister grin to him. You can see here the same issue with the hairline. Like I said, I think almost everybody had a little bit of that paint issue there, where it's a little sloppy on the hairline. Again, nice and tight on the gap. The hair hides. This hair hides the gap even more than the exclusive head does. Paint match is still really good. You only get that difference with the shading. This head's painted slightly darker than the exclusive head. All right. So now you can see the sculpt and the musculature better on the Red Hulk than the Gray Hulk, because obviously the Red Hulk's not wearing a shirt. So, but they did an awesome job on the sculpt. It's very, very well done. And again, the Gray Hulk exclusive, everything's fully sculpted underneath that shirt. So it's got all of this. You just can't see it because of the shirt. It's a little thread. Got scared there. I thought it was a crack at first. But just a thread. Okay, so here with the black pants, you can see there's almost no like paint shading done on the pants at all because of the black. They're almost like a charcoal color, so they're not like pure black. They look nice. I think they're real well done as well. But because they're a darker color, maybe hides a little bit of the detail. Now here, notice too as well what we said about the fingernails and the veins. You can see here they really didn't shade the veins too much. They're a lot of the same color red, so they don't stand out as much as the gray. And they did that on the green as well. The green veins are a lot similar to the color of the body. Here the nails, they gave them a little black shading. Not a lot of detail on this, not like the gray at all. Same thing with the toes. The paint app on the gray is by far the best, and it's really a superior paint app. It's been I think it's one of Sideshow's best paint apps they've done in a long time on any statue. This one could use some improvement in places, obviously, and that goes across all of the reds and greens. All right, so let me show you that gap on this leg here. So we'll pull up his shorts. Carefully, very carefully. All right, let me just pause it and get that. All right, and there's that gap. So you can see how here, when this leg was glued on, it's they all have this. All the reds have this. I don't know if the green does. I haven't seen that in person to check, but you can see that gap there. They didn't fill it on this one like they did on the gray. So they left it like this and just pulled the pants over it. Now, are you ever going to notice it? No, because the pants cover it. But like I said, once the pants are down, you can, yeah, it's right. It's right there. Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it's right in here. But you really got to look for it. Is anybody going ahead and grope Red Hulk's thigh? I'd hope not. Be a little weird. But if you were, you might feel a little bit of a gap. All right. Base. So as you can see here, this is a little lighter. This is all really silver. It almost looks like a melted steel or some kind of metal that they went with the paint app. The rock's much grayer in this one. It's browner in the other one. These are a lighter gray. They're more charcoal in the other one. Yeah, you can see obviously the red and the Red Hulkbuster hand. So that's the big difference, and obviously the Hulkbuster hand being the most noticeable difference. The Hulkbuster hand itself is done real well. Quarter scale. It almost feels like it's made of metal. I'm not saying it is. I don't think it is at all, but it's got almost a metallic feel to it, which is really cool considering it's a machine. It's got a nice weight and feel to it, and it just sits right in there. So little magnet, little peg hole. Obviously, they filled that in when they did the Gray Hulk base. So I think a lot of the Red Hulk issues that, the paint issues with Red Hulk, it carried on to the Green Hulk. And as well, I'd probably say the Green Hulk head sculpts are probably the worst out of all the head sculpts. I mean, they don't look bad, don't get me wrong, but I think the gray and the red have that beat, and especially the gray. The gray is by far the best out of the line, in my opinion. If you're going to get one, get the gray. Regular or exclusive, doesn't really matter. All right, let me show you guys where they're displayed together, and we can see how much the shirt gives a difference to the two statues, considering they're the same pose and sculpt. All right, so that's how I have them set up there. So you can kind of see the way, the gray and red display together, along with the original green premium format. That piece there in the Red Hulk's hand, that was an extra Galactus hand that I had. I just cut it up, broke it up, it was damaged, and made it look like an Ultron hand as best I could. And then for that's just a metal chain that I thought would look good with the in Hulk's hand there. So I like how the shirt, the orange shirt there, differentiates them from the red one a little bit more. Also like how the base is different. You can see the difference in the bases, the more gray on the red and the brown and blacks on the gray. Either way, you can't really go wrong. They're great statues to have. Really cool looking stuff. And that's all the Hulks there. Some people have an army. Some people have a Hulk. I'm lucky enough to have an army of Hulks. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.